Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm going to be doing an in-depth first impression review of the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Swan. Now I know I'm kind of very late on the boat with this concealer. I've had it sitting in my drawers for a couple of months now. It's just that I had so many concealers open, I didn't want to open another one because then it kind of like wastes product when I'm not like using all the concealers. So yeah, today's the day that I'm going to be doing this video. Now this concealer has been like very hyped all over the internet, so I'm very keen to try it out. It's meant to be like a really sort of full coverage concealer, and although this is sort of high end because it's Too Faced, you get like a massive amount of product. There's 15 milliliters in here, which is almost like 2 to 3 times like the standard that you would get in a concealer. I just looked up the price for this and it retails for £24 in the UK. If we were to say that this was 3 times the size of a normal concealer, then this would actually be, if this was 3 times smaller, it'd be about £8, which really is kind of like drugstore price. So I think for the amount you get, the price is really reasonable on this. Now I've got the shade Swan in this concealer. I'll just swatch this on the back of my hand now. I think at the time I bought this, this was the lightest shade. I'm not sure if they've expanded by now. I'll have a look and put it in the description box below if they have. So as you can see, I've got very fair skin, and this is what the shade Swan looks like. So it's quite, I'd say like, maybe like neutral, maybe leaning warm. Because I mean, this is Too Faced and a lot of their stuff does tend to lean on the warm sort of yellow side. Now I'm going to just swatch this next to the Born This Way foundation that I have in Snow. This is one of the light shades that they have. When I bought this, this was the lightest shade that they had. But I think they now do like 2 more shades lighter than this. So yeah, so this is the shade Snow in the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. As you can see, it's a similar sort of shade. It's just that the undertone, the foundation is much more sort of peachy. So yeah, this is it just swatched next to, so this is the concealer that I'm testing today, and then this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 05, and this is the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in the shade Ivory. So just so you can see sort of in comparison for the shades. Yeah, so I'll get into the review and demo of this now. Right, so I've just gone ahead and applied a light layer of foundation, and I've used Ordinary Colours Serum Foundation in the shade 1.0N. This is quite a lightweight foundation, so we can see how the concealer actually performs. Do excuse my hair, I haven't done it yet, I've just scraped it up in a high bun. So this is what the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer looks like in its packaging. It's like a nice pink box, and it's very similar to the foundation box. Now on the box it claims to be hydrating, long wearing, photo friendly and non-comedogenic. I can't say that word. Basically it doesn't clog your pores. And it says it's infused with coconut water, alpine rose and hyaluronic acid. So it's pretty much, it's infused with the same thing as the Born This Way foundation. That kind of worries me slightly because I don't actually like this foundation because it breaks me out. I don't know what it is in it, but I'm hoping that this concealer won't be the same. Just for reference, in the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, I've got the shade Snow. You can see they're very similar colours. This one maybe a little bit more neutral. So this is what the concealer looks like. It's really massive. It's almost like a sort of travel size foundation rather than a concealer. As you can see, this is what the foundation looks like, and this is the concealer. So I think, yeah, this is half the size of the foundation, so you're getting like a massive amount of product in this. So as I've seen online, it's a massive like doe foot applicator, so it's like a huge wand. Now the concealer doesn't really sort of have a scent, it's more just like a light sort of fresh scent. It doesn't seem to have like a particular fragrance. Now I think because this is meant to be really high coverage, I think I'm going to try doing sort of your usual triangle on one side, and then on the other side try just dotting it to get maybe like use less product basically, to see if there's any difference, because with some concealers you don't need to put a massive triangle because it's just so high coverage. So I'm going to go ahead on the right side of my face and go in like a triangle. And I'm going to be blending this out with my Real Techniques mini sponge. Now on first applying this seems like a really thick concealer, so I feel like this is going to be way too much, but I'll see how I go blending it out. Now I like to take the excess what's on my sponge and apply it above my eyelid, almost like as an eyeshadow primer, just to sort of blend the colour in so you haven't got like a stark white sort of eyelid space. I like to blend it sort of up onto the side of the nose and down into like the cheekbone. You can see the difference. This is like one layer on this side. I can still kind of actually see like my dark circle and my splot, so I'm just gonna go in and add a little bit more. And this time I think it's because the sponge is taking away the coverage, so I'm just going to try patting it in with my finger. And this is what I would usually do with concealer when it doesn't immediately like cover everything up. So I think that's done a pretty good job on this side. First impressions, I'm quite liking it. I wouldn't say it's like a super full coverage concealer like it claims to be, but I'd say it's like a high medium. I've yet to find a concealer that's completely full coverage on me. I don't know whether it's just because I have like weird under eyes. But yeah, I'm going to go in on the left hand side of my face now. And as I said before, I'm just going to use less product to see if this makes a difference. So I'm just going to go in with my sponge once again. Now that's also blended in very nicely on this side, but as you can see, because I've used less product, it's a much sort of lighter coverage than this side, so you can see the dark circles a bit more. So I think if you have like really good under eyes and you don't have dark circles, definitely you can use less product and just dot it on, like it looks really nice. But where I've kind of got a bit of a dark circle because I'm quite tired, I am just going to go in and go over and add some more to try and match it to this side. Now I'm just going to sort of add some to where I would usually add concealer. So I'm just going to put a little bit down my nose and some on my forehead, a little bit above my cupid's bow, on my chin and around my nose. Now I've only dunked in once, so I'm not using like an immense amount of product. I'm just going to blend this in with my sponge. Now, so I haven't set my under eyes yet, and this is what it's looking like without setting it. It hasn't like creased majorly as of yet. So I'm now going to go in and set the under eyes, and I'm going to use one of my favourite powders, which is this e.l.f. I think it's just called like sheer translucent powder. Now what I like to do is just get my sponge again and go underneath just to power any sort of minor creases that I have. I always have creases because I do have fine lines under my eye. So I just pat it out like that, and then I don't like to bake because I've got dry skin. I just like to tap my brush into some powder, tap it off, and tap this under the eye. And now I'm just going to do the same with the other eye. And so if I zoom you in a little bit now so you can really see what it looks like under the eyes, you can kind of see it's not creased majorly. You can just kind of see the very fine lines that I do have under my eyes. So that's the concealer all applied now and set. Overall my first impression is I think this is quite a good concealer. It's too early to say whether I like really love this concealer yet, but like first impression it's not majorly creased as I first applied it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup and then come back and update you with how I think this concealer is wearing. Hi everyone, so I'm back and I've finished the rest of my makeup, and so I'm just checking in to give you an update on what the concealer is sort of looking like. So I'll just zoom you in now. So overall I think it's looking quite nice. I quite like this concealer. You can kind of see there is some minimal creasing here because I do have fine lines under my eyes. It's not great, but I'm not like, oh my god, this concealer is like really bad, I'm not going to use it. And in fact I like the colour, the tone, I like the consistency of the concealer, I like the coverage it gives. I'd say my impression of this concealer right now is that I like it, but I'm not like loving it. Like I'm not wowed by like I thought I might be because of like there's so much hype around this product. I'm a little disappointed in the sense that I'm not completely blown away by this concealer because it was so hyped online. But maybe that's the way when things are so like viral and hyped. I might come back in a couple of hours just to give you a quick update of how it's looking. I'm not going to do an all day wear test because like concealers generally sort of don't break down like foundations do. Hi guys, so quick little update. It's been about 3 hours since I first put on the concealer, and I noticed that it was starting to crease under my eyes. Not any more than a usual concealer would, because most concealers kind of settle into my fine lines. But interestingly, I found that when I got my finger and patted over the creases under my eyes, they kind of like disappeared again almost. So as you can see, like it's not creasing that bad, it's just the fine lines I have under my eyes. But yeah, when I patted them in, it just kind of went back to normal again. So yeah, I think this is going to be one that I need to like test out a little bit more to see whether I really like this concealer, because at the minute I am liking it, but like I said before, I don't think I'm loving it at the minute. So yeah, I'm going to keep like trying it throughout the week, and then I'll leave in the description below my final thoughts on this concealer. So thanks for watching and goodbye.